Joining us now for a closer look at beef exports is Dan Halstrom from the U.S. Meat Export Federation. Dan, recently you were at the Gulf Food Show in Dubai. How does USMEF use an event like this to build demand for U.S. beef?
Well, I think if you look at Gulf Food, it's one of the largest food shows in the world, over 80,000 attendees at the show. So it's an opportunity to showcase U.S. beef. The attributes tell our story. But aside from that, it's also a chance to see the competition. And being a global food show, it attracts people from not only the Middle East region, but Russia, Europe, Asia. So truly, we had the entire world at this event. And consequently, the entire world's competitors are at the event. So we saw everyone from Australian beef to Indian beef to Kenyan beef and quite a few more in addition to that. So it's a good opportunity to really tell our story to the world.
You know, oftentimes when you're on the show, we talk about places like Japan and Korea, but I've also heard you talk about opportunities in countries like Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. Tell us what you perceive to be the opportunities for U.S. beef in those countries and how they differ.
Well, they're distinctly different. Egypt, I'll start with them. They're one of our oldest markets in the Middle East, but a very slow developing, I'd say immature market. It is our largest destination for beef at about $160 million a year ago, but it's highly skewed towards the variety meats, livers, kidneys, things like this. The fascinating piece of development there is that we're starting to see the emergence of primal cuts. And about $30 million worth were primal cuts last year, and this is everything from high-end middles to low-end utility grade cow meat that's starting to emerge in the marketplace. Heel meat's another item, so that's exciting. You fast forward to United Arab Emirates, it's a very sophisticated market, very high-end food service driven, and once again you see the range of cuts, everything from chuck rolls being ground for high-end patties to high-end middle meats for white tablecloth dining. So the exciting thing that we're new in this market relative to some of our competitors, so there's quite a bit of opportunity for growth.
And as you think about some of the activities that USMEF does in those countries, maybe give our viewers a perspective of what you're doing to build demand.
Well, I think boots on the ground is one of the keys, and we have staff over in that region in Egypt as well as the UAE and Jordan and a few other places. So we have a presence along with our exporter members that constantly have a presence in that region. So I think that's important on developing our name, developing our brand. And explaining what's different about U.S. beef. I mean, we have that high-end grain-fed rich taste. It's much different than some of our competitors. You know, what is grain feeding? What is grading? Something as simple as that. We take those things for granted here. They don't understand in a lot of these places. So education is a big part of what we do. What you see in the form of promotions, at whether it be food service or retail, that's a result of a lot of educational work beforehand. So that's the gamut of what we do, but the real crux of what we do is the education part.
Let's talk broadly about exports. Last year, we came off a record year for U.S. beef exports. How are we doing so far this year, and what markets appear to be particularly hot?
Yeah, exactly right, Kevin. Last year was a record, a little over $6 billion in sales. This year, we're off to a good start. Through February, we're up about 12% on value, 6% on volume. So that value number is a little over $1 billion. So it's good news, especially considering we're a little bit shorter on numbers right now. In production, we're still looking pretty good through February. It's being led by our two biggest markets, Mexico and Japan, both up about 30%, and things are going well there. Other markets that are contributing include Hong Kong. Central South America continues to be strong. But I think the real key, if you look at the numbers, is the value per head that we're contributing. We're up at $277 in the month of February. So, that's really what matters to producers, I think, and we're excited about that. And the prospects for growth continue, with increasing populations and increasing GDPs, declining self-sufficiencies in some of these markets, like a market like Japan. They're reliant on imports. So I think things are still looking pretty good.
That's great news and real money for all of us involved in the beef cattle industry. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure. Thank you.
To learn more about the work of USMEF and U.S. beef exports, visit their website at usmef.org, or you can visit our website at cattlemantocattleman.org.